Okay, what is going on YouTube? Got another knife for you here I'm going to review. This is the 80-20.5. That was a fail. And I have a separate video already made on this on my channel. It is the scale swap and disassembly video, so I'll put the link in the description if you want to check that out if you are interested. And start off with the appearance. Overall, this is a very good looking knife. I'm a huge fan of the design on this, just everything about this. I mean, as you probably already know, it's a very popular knife made by DEMKO knives. The clip is a deep, well, it's not a deep carry pocket clip, but it's a pretty good design. It goes in and out of your pocket really smoothly. The steel is AUS 10A, which is the best steel amongst the AUS steels. There's also 6A and 8A, but we'll get more into that in a bit. The scales are Blue Arctic carbon fiber scales I got from Carbodize on Instagram. That was with a K. He makes all sorts of different carbon fiber scales for different models of knives with different color patterns. I just happen to really like these blue ones. I did not get the back spacer that he makes. This is the stock back spacer, just Givery. It comes stock with the Givery scales, which feels just like G10 pretty much. But I like the carbon fiber scales more. They actually recently came out with, a different company actually recently came out with different scales are aluminum. They look really sleek. They're like $60. I might have to get a pair of those eventually. I think that would really make this knife, honestly. But yeah, the blade is a clip point blade. It's a flat grind. Got the nice stone wash. Really liking the stone wash on there. Hardware is Torx head screws. And we will go ahead and figure out what size they are. So the pivot is a T10, and oh, and these other screws are pretty small. Let's see. Gonna be a T5. Let's see. Yep, these screws are going to be a T5. These tools is just like an electronic repair kit I got from like Walmart, made by Hyper Tough. They're not the best bits. I already stripped one of them. I think I stripped the T8. Haven't even used it that much, so they're kind of cheap, but they work more or less. Yeah, the thumb stud is good for the slow rolling open. Can't really get a good grip on it to flick it out very well. You can do it, but this little hole here, you can kind of do the reverse flick, but I prefer to just open it with the shark lock. It's a lot more easy just to flip it open. And the shark lock right here has this little jimping on it. is known to be a little rough. If you open and close it a lot, it can like wear it out your skin and hurts a little bit. So I did actually sand mine down just a bit, which helped a little. Seemed to be a good idea. Yeah, if you really just play with this knife a lot, you're gonna get like a blister on your finger. You can also do it with your thumb. Not as good, but the action is quite satisfying. When I first got it, I was just like obsessed with this knife. I literally flipped it like 100 times in just that day, and yeah, I definitely got a blister, and that's what made me want to sand the jimping down. But yeah, if you pull the shark lock back, it's just hangs free, almost like a button lock. Yeah, really good action. It is on steel ball bearings, I believe. The ergonomics are quite good. Really nestles in your hand. You can have this little choil you can choke up with, and you got the jimping on the blade for some precise cutting. So yeah, the blade length is 3.2 inches. The cutting edge length is 3.05 inches, and the overall length is 7.6 inches. And then the weight is 3.5 ounces. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same with the carbon fiber scales. Might be like 0.3 ounces lighter with the carbon fiber scales or something, just because carbon fiber is known to be a more light material than, I mean, it probably doesn't even make that huge of a difference in all honesty, but so yeah, let's get more into the AUS 10A steel, shall we? So AUS 10A is a Japanese made steel, and since it has high chromium levels, it has a significant resistance to rust and corrosion. It has a hardness level of 56 to 60, which it's a pretty hard steel. So yeah, the hardness level is pretty notable given that it is very tough. Usually it's one or the other, but the creators of this steel were able to balance these two features, which is pretty impressive. And as a result, it can withstand great impact, it can keep its edge for long periods of time, and despite it being a relatively hard steel, AUS 10A is fairly simple to sharpen, though it's not the easiest. But if you have something like the Precision Adjust by Work Sharp, yeah, and you know how to use it effectively, it's pretty simple to sharpen compared to other steels like 20 CV or something. So yeah, the pros of AUS 10A is high levels of hardness, making it capable of taking on rough use. Despite being very hard, AUS 10A steel knives are still easily to sharpen. And then high machinability makes it attractive option for custom knife making, often recommended as a more affordable alternative to the premium VG10 steel, which is also a Japanese steel. So yeah, rust resistant, so, well, not 100% rust resistant, it's not like H1 or something, or LC100 or whatever it's called, but it is pretty rust resistant, so the maintenance is relatively easy. AUS 10A blades also can get very sharp and stay that way for a long period of time, relatively long period of time. Also not as good as like a premium steel such as 20 CV or like M390, but for the price point, I would say it's an excellent steel. I don't know why people hate on AUS 10A. Like, maybe they think that it's really similar to AUS 8A, which is like edge retention is trash on that, is like 100% a budget steel. But yeah, from my understanding and experience, AUS 10A is pretty good, and I like it for my needs. And yeah, I mean, the only con I can really think of about the blade steel is that it can be a challenge to sharpen. Like if you don't have a precision adjust, and you don't really know how to sharpen knives that easily, you might want to get it professionally sharpened so you don't mess up the bevel on the edge. And yeah, well, in the future I would really like to get a different backspacer, maybe from Carbodize. Man, if I got the like chrome aluminum scales with the carbon fiber backspacer, that would look sleek. I think maybe not. I don't know, maybe get a new thumb stud. I think you can get aftermarket thumb studs. And this one works just fine, but get like a black one or something, it would look cool. And yeah, overall this is an amazing knife. No wonder it's extremely popular. And you can get the 80-20.5 in a Warncliffe / sheep's foot, but DEMKO calls it a shark's foot, weirdly enough. I think it's kind of funny, but also I almost wish I had that blade shape on this, just because that is an extremely useful blade shape, though I do like the clip point, not gonna lie. And yeah, Carbodize, where I got these scales from. You can find them on Instagram, spelled with a K. That's where I reached out to him. Cost me about like 50-60 bucks for these scales. I'm not sure how much it would be with the scales plus a backspacer, probably a little more. And then also you can get, if you just search aluminum scales for the 80-20.5 on Google, I don't remember the website, but I'm sure they'll come up. And they have a few different milling patterns on the aluminum. There's like a frag pattern and like swirl pattern. One thing I noticed when I swapped the scales out, once I got the carbon fiber scales, I think it made the action slightly more smooth. Maybe it's all in my head, but it just, yeah, it seems like it runs smoother on the carbon fiber scales. And if you go check out my other video, which will be in the description, about the disassembly and scale swap, you can really see how the shark lock works, which is pretty interesting. It's a really good design, like a phenomenal design. Super strong from my understanding. And yeah, the blade stock is pretty thick on this bad boy. So yeah, if you guys like zero tolerance knives, I recently posted a video about these ZT 0770 in carbon fiber and S35VN, one of my favorite EDC knives. It's on bronze bearings, it's assisted, super lightweight, you don't ever really notice it in your pocket. The action is just snappy and satisfying, so go check out that video, you will not be disappointed. Like and subscribe for weekly content. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace.